Hey guys, it's Kayla from Killing It With Coupons, and I am here to share with you guys my Walmart haul for this week. I ended up doing not quite as many deals as I did last week. I noticed that a lot of the food items that I got that were marked down pretty cheap, I don't know if they were like on clearance or rollback or whatever it was, they all like ended at the same time yesterday. When I was making my list, all of a sudden I was like, oh, these things that I checked this morning that were on sale are no longer on sale. So that's why I also ended up doing a little bit of a smaller haul, and I also really try to focus on the best and cheapest rebate deals that were going on as well. Now I did have a little bit, I actually contacted Shopkick with the Dove Crumble hand soaps. They were initially a limit of 5. They have now changed it to a limit of 1, and they don't even tell you that it's a limit of 1. They just don't say anything. Like normally they will say on like the rebate a limit whatever, you know, limit 5, limit 3, limit 2. Apparently if it doesn't say anything, that means that it's just a limit of 1. And on top of that, it wasn't before. When I looked before, I don't know if it was last night when I made my list, but when I checked before, it was a limit of 5. So now it's not anymore, and I only got the rebate back for 1 of them when I picked up 3. So, like I said, that's a little unfortunate. I probably should have double checked. Like I said, I don't know if between last night and today, though, they changed, like, since when I did my order and picked it up, or if it was, like, again, like yesterday, they switched the limit to, you know, 1 instead of 5. The other thing too, I have never used Swagbucks with the digital receipts before. I actually used Swagbucks way back in the day when it was literally just for you know, like the surveys and stuff like that, but now they're similar to a lot of the other like app rebates where you can submit for like the grocery things that you buy, and it was gonna make these Hillshire Farms meats really a great price. And it's not coming back initially, but it does say it could take up to 30 something days to process, and it says not to contact them until after those 30 something days. Well, the rebate though expires at the end of February, I think. I don't know exactly what day, but it's like towards the end of February. So if I don't see that rebate comes back by then, I am going to contact them. And when I try to submit the receipt digitally through the email, like forwarding it to them, it says to send the email once you've picked up the item and it's confirmed that you've picked up, you know, your receipt or whatever. And I've sent it, and the thing that's weird is that it doesn't actually show like the total or anything like that, or the items that actually I picked up. It just says, oh yeah, it's confirmed, and if you want to, you can click on the, you know, the link to the item order there. And so I can understand why like it looks like that's not the right email that I should be sending, but it's the only one that I have that confirms the order was picked up, and that's the one that they say to like send. So I'm also having issues like on that end because of it as well. So if I don't end up getting the rebate back for that, like I said, I will submit a help thing, but I should be getting the 400 Swagbucks, which is like $4 back from that. So unfortunately, like 2 of the things might have not worked out exactly like I had planned. They were also out of the Axe deodorant at my store, and it was specifically the Apollo kind that was $4.18 for some reason at my store instead of $4.97, I think. And we have $6 back when you buy 2 from Ibotta. I was gonna make those like $1 something, around, again, that price, I think $1.18 or something, but they were out of that one specifically at my store. So that was the only other thing that I was going to do that they didn't end up having available. But other than that, I ended up getting everything. Now I did do this as a grocery pickup, an online purchase. So all the rebates that I ended up getting back were with the, you know, digital receipts. None of them were with the physical scanned receipts. A lot of the items that I did pick up were on either clearance or like rollback. So even like this Cascade, I think it was on clearance at my store, so it might differ based on your store and what they have on clearance. Now the weird thing is that I actually picked this Cascade up a few weeks ago, then it went back up to regular price, and now it's back to this clearance rollback sale price. So again, make sure you're always checking your store because they might end up fluctuating the prices. It could just be based on the online price and not the actual in-store price, or the in-store price could be even cheaper than that. Just depends about your store. So I will point out all the deals and what I ended up doing and picking up, but just know that like the price, again too, if it was a clearance or rollback price, it might not be the same at your store. So for all these items on the table, it would have been $53.41. I paid $37.38 out of pocket and saved $16.03, but I earned back a total of $23.70 from different app rebates. And again, I will point out each one that I ended up doing, but I ended up getting rebates back from 4 different app rebates. So my net cost for all these items was just $13.68, which I think is pretty good. Like I said, if I had known that the Dove hand soaps were a limit of 1, I would have just picked up 1, or if they were still a limit of 5 like I thought that they were, it should have been only $11.28. Like I said, that was a little bit my mistake, a little bit not advertised very well on their part as well, but that was what I was expecting all of this to work out to be. I still think for $13.68 that is a really good deal, because for example, the Cascade, this is normally $13.58. So for what this retails at my store, I ended up paying for all of these items, which I still think is pretty good, especially considering I did get a good amount of food items as well. With the Cascade, it is on clearance, I'm guessing, or rollback possibly, but because it's so heavily discounted, I'm kind of thinking that it's a clearance price. It's $6.18, so I paid $6.18 and earned back $2 in Walmart cash, and there's only Walmart cash available for this, not Ibotta as well. So my net cost was just $4.18 for this, and I saved $9.40, and that's for the 43 count, which is a really good deal. Again, when I check the prices, sometimes I will check at my store and then compare the price at the other, you know, Walmart that's down the street from me, or 2 or 3 of the other ones in my area, and check and see, and none of those other ones have it at this listed at this price. They will sometimes have prices though at those stores that are not at my store. So it does just depend on, like I said, your specific store. So the Febreze plug-in, this is a freebie. It's regularly $3.44. You will earn $3.50 back in Walmart cash, making it free plus a 6-cent moneymaker, and I saved $3.50 on that. That is just with the regular price as well, so this will most likely be available for everybody across all of the different stores. It's just the regular Walmart price. The Febreze air freshener though, this is definitely going to vary. They had 2 different kinds at my store that were marked down all the way to $1.58. And again, more than likely clearance price. These are regularly $3.44, and you will earn back $2 in Walmart cash. So it ends up making this free plus a 42-cent money maker, and I saved $3.86. So again, this is another one of those things where it is going to vary, but if your store just has these at regular price, most of the Febreze air fresheners are $3.44, and you will earn $2 in Walmart cash, making them just $1.44, which is still really not that bad of a price. But if you can find some of the ones that are again marked down to that $1.58, this will be a money maker for you. Like I said, they only had 2 available at my store that were marked down to that price, and they were actually out of the other one, so then this one was my backup. And that was on the Febreze, this linen and sky, and also the lavender kind. Like I said, my store was out the lavender kind, but then they had this linen and sky one. They also had the Tylenol, which was the 100 count. It was marked down to $4.88. It's regularly $6.96, but again, I paid $4.88 and earned $2 back from Ibotta, making this $2.88. And I believe you can do this with Ibotta or Walmart cash, but $2.88 and saving $4.08 is a pretty good price for those. Again, with the Dove Crumble hand washes, these are regularly $3.97. So I picked up 3 for $11.91. I earned $2 back from Ibotta, which is a limit of 3, which was why I was going to pick up 3, and then assumed that with the Shopkick it was a limit of 5. So I ended up earning $6 back from Ibotta because I bought 3 of them, and then for Shopkick I earned back, it was 300 kicks, but then I earned back an extra 25 kicks, which might have just been for like I don't know, earning the rebate or something like that. It wasn't even for the scanning. That's only worth 10 kicks, and I didn't do that because it was a grocery pickup and I wasn't in the store to do it. But for whatever reason, it was an extra 25 kicks. So I ended up with $1.30 back, which is about the equivalent of what the 350 kicks are. So for me, these ended up being $4.61 for 3, or $1.54 each, which I'm not going to complain. These are actually pretty good sized bottles of soap, and also Dove, which is normally a brand that we don't get a lot of great deals on. Again, these earlier in the week were actually completely free. Then they adjusted and changed the Shopkick offer and made it less, and then they also ended up now making it a limit of 1. But if you do end up picking up just one, again, for $3.79, you earn the $2 back from Ibotta and the $1.20 back from Shopkick. These will be just 77 cents, which is still a really awesome price. Again, I'm a little bit upset that I didn't earn that back from Shopkick, but it's not the worst deal because I still got the Ibotta offer back and one of the Shopkick offers. And again, these still smell amazing. So like I said, I'm not too upset about it. And I did save $7.30 on those. This deal, I've also done this twice now, I think, 2 or 3 times. But the Dave's Killer Bread snack bars, these are $2.97 at my store. They are lower priced at my store compared to the other stores I've seen where they're $3.98. So I paid $2.97 and earned $1.50 back from Ibotta and 1,200 fetch reward points, which is the equivalent of about $1.20. So these were just 27 cents for these, and I saved $3.71. The Hillshire Farm turkey breast, these are on rollback, $2.47, and they are the 9-ounce size. Now with the swag box offer, it's on only select varieties. I think the oven roasted turkey breast, the maybe honey roasted turkey breast, and then also the Black Forest ham. So it's only on a couple different kinds, and it's also on different select sizes. So 9 ounces, I think also the 1 pound, and possibly another size as well, but just check with that offer as to what's available because not all of them are. But with this, they're regularly $3.97, so 2 of them would have been $7.94. Again, because they were on rollback, for 2 of them I paid $4.94, and I should earn 400 swag bucks back, which is the equivalent of about $4. And again, as long as I earn that back, I'm, like I said, gonna make sure that I keep watching it to just make sure that it does eventually end up crediting what I ended up buying. And if not, I will contact them because, like I said, I have not done this before, so I don't really know how long is typical to wait on that. But these would be just 94 cents for 2 or 47 cents each, which is like awesome. Even if for some reason I'm not able to figure out how to get that back, or if when I do contact them I can't, like, they're not able to credit my account for it or whatever, still $2.47 for these 9-ounce packages is cheaper than Aldi's price. So overall, this is really not that bad of a price in general. Again, it's a bonus if you end up getting those swag bucks back as well. But anybody that has ever done this with swag bucks and does the online offers, if you do grocery pickups, especially at Walmart specifically, have you ever had any trouble with that? Or again, is it typical to wait like a few weeks to finally see it credited in your account for what you picked up? Let me know, because like I said, I am not entirely familiar with that, and I have not used it for very long. I have not even done like the physical receipt, paper receipt rebates for it either. So like I said, let me know. With those, if I get the $4 back, I will save $7 on them. Lastly, also too, I've been picking these up for a few weeks now because these are a really good price. The Great Value pasta at my store is on rollback for 74 cents. The regularly 108, so 2 of them would have been $2.16. I paid $1.48 and saved 68 cents, which is not the best savings, but for pasta, this is a pretty good price, and they have a load of varieties that are included with the rollback. So I've been picking up a few different kinds each week and kind of just stocking up on pasta because, again, we really don't get a ton of deals at under $1 on pasta. And again, for 74 cents, I think that that's a really good deal because even at Aldi, that's cheaper than their price. So again, I'll go ahead and kind of stock us up on pasta for a while as long as they have this rollback deal available. So I also ended up getting back 20 cents from Ibotta for submitting any like receipt, so I earned that back as well. But like I said, I think overall for all of these items being $13.68 as a net cost, again, my little maybe fumble with the Dove hand hand soaps, and all of the rebate not being available, again, stinks a little bit, especially if, again, too, after all of that, it was expected that it was going to be like $11. Still, honestly, the fact that the Cascade alone is $13 and that's what I paid for all of the items, I am really still very happy with what I ended up getting from Walmart this week. And again, like I said, all of these items, the prices are going to vary based on your store, except for really the Dove. Those are going to be probably the exact same price at just about every store. And also the Febreze plug-in, that should be the same price at every store. All of the other items and the prices that I ended up getting the items for could end up being cheaper than what your store has them for. And like I said, check the online price, but then also check the in-store price, because sometimes the online price, if you're doing a grocery pickup, might end up being more expensive, and the in-store price might have them on clearance at a cheaper price than actually what the online price is. And again, if you're doing a grocery pickup though, it might just be the online price and not in stores. So sometimes, again, too, what they have advertised online is different than the actual in-store price. But that does it for me for everything I ended up picking up from Walmart this week and the deals I ended up getting. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys give it a like and follow, and I will see you guys all in the next haul. So bye guys.